This Gunna, you listen to RNS, real nigga shit. You dig?
What's good, people? Welcome to another episode of RNS. We are back. The title run. We had a big game in football. The title run is going down to the wire. We got 5 games left. Some niggas have 6. Kweku, you're back. You watched Super Sunday. Tell me about it. I want to hear the pre-match. Why was the Premier League title there? Like, tell me about it, bro.
Um, because this was a huge game. This was a huge game. And we can sit here and say maybe it's overstated, but I don't think so. I think the build up was necessary, and I think the build up was because people knew what was on the line. Because really and truly, if the result would have gone the other way and Arsenal would have beat Man City, we would have viewed that as a huge game. Do you know when you watch like Premier League years, that would have been the game of Premier League years. Obviously, the
Yeah.
result goes the way that the results normally go. Man City beat Arsenal at the Etihad, um, and so it maybe feels a bit less significant. But in terms of the direction of where the title's going, I think now Man City are firm favourites. And 2 weeks ago, or before the Bournemouth game that Arsenal lost, Arsenal were 9 points clear. Obviously, City had games in hand, but Arsenal were 9 points clear. They win that game, they go 12 points clear. The next time Arsenal play a Premier League game, they could be second in the league, and that's within a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. It's insane. It's insane, and that's why when people talk about, well, before I say what I'm gonna say, in terms of that the game itself, it was, yeah, I wouldn't say a Premier League classic, but it was full of big moments. It was what you expect on a Super Sunday. 4:30, the sun's shining. You put the yellow ball away. You got the white ball back out. Like it's red versus blue. Like it was a big Premier League game, and for all the criticism that the Premier League's come under because of the quality of the football in the league, which I think has been granted criticism, I do think that game lived up to the billing. We got a Shirky goal, some magic from Ryan Shirky, who we talked about in the last pod. I said if City win the league, he wins the Player of the Season just because he's come up clutch in recent weeks, and people just remember how you finished, not how you started. But Arsenal, if I'm being fair to them, if Arsenal would have played how they played against City throughout the rest of the season, this wouldn't have been a title race. They wouldn't have. They
Mm.
wouldn't have drawn against Wolves 2-2 after being 2-0 up. They wouldn't have drawn against Forest. They wouldn't have lost against Bournemouth. They would have already secured this title. So credit and fair play to Arsenal for actually showing some intent at the Etihad. But for me, it's too little, too late. And I think we're gonna have a situation now with the game where if Arsenal, I can see Arsenal winning the rest of the games between now and the end of the season. And I can see City winning the rest of the games between now and the end of the season. Or maybe they don't. But what I do think will happen is that both teams will end up on the same amount of points, and it could be a goal difference kind of thing. And I've talked to some Arsenal fans about that, and about they're now telling me, oh, against Newcastle, you have to go for it. 1-0, 2-0 is not enough. And this is how I know I'm talking to young football fans. I'm like, you don't remember the 13-14 season. Christian Ball. Liverpool, after fucking up against Chelsea in the Gerrard slip, they lost the initiative in the title race. And that meant, or in their heads, that they thought they had to chase it because if them and City kept on winning, they'd end up on the same amount of points and City would win on goal difference. So they went to Selhurst Park. They took a 3-0 lead. They thought they needed to keep on attacking, scoring. And lo and behold, they drew that game 3-all. Arsenal right now, don't worry about running up the score, just worry about winning games. And if you lose get
Mm.
the league on goal difference, so be it. That's you're paying the price for bringing in Gyökeres in the summer. Like, just concentrate on winning games right now. But in terms of the narrative and in terms of the game overall, I was thoroughly entertained, bro. It was a good game of football, and I think the main takeaway is that no one's beaten City in the title race, and we've been knowing that. We've been knowing that. But me, I'm one of those football fans that maybe got bamboozled, and maybe I'm tired of seeing the same thing. And I said maybe Arsenal come up with come up trumps and do something you've never seen before. But you saw City's emphasis and City's point of attack, and when there's something on the line, and it's April and May, City are a different force in the Premier League.
Yeah, bro. Like, I totally agree with you. I think I didn't watch the game, but I watched the highlights and I watched the Gary Neville podcast just to get an insight from someone who was there. And he said, like, Arsenal can go away from that performance thinking if they play like that for the rest of the remaining 5 games that they've got, they have a chance of still winning the Premier League. So it wasn't. Arsenal couldn't take from, even though they lost, and I feel like they had to go and win that game to stamp their authority and say the league is ours. Even though if they can remain that level for the rest of the season, it will come to an interesting finish. My thing is that I still don't know if both teams, by the way, I still don't know if both teams win 5 games on the trot. Now, every time like Premier Leagues come down to the wire, it comes down to goal difference. The teams don't really win the last 5 games on the road. When it came down to goal difference in 11-12, we lost to City 1-0. I was watching the run that Man City on. They slapped West Brom 4-0. They slapped Norwich like 6-1 away. Like, that's what Man City do. They've been doing it since then. But if we go through their remaining fixtures right now, we'll do Arsenal's first. Newcastle at home, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home, Crystal Palace away. I can't lie. If you'd given Arsenal fans at the start of the season, you need 5 games for your life to win, they will take those games.
100%.
But the thing is, because of context, and it's not just you fighting. Like, what people have to remember is that when you're fighting for a title, when you're fighting in the title race, you're fighting for your life, but other niggas are fighting for their lives too. When we went up in 11-12 against Wigan and Sean Maloney and them, man, they were fighting for their lives. And we all know daylight savings Wigan, they were rubbish the whole time, and then they'll just turn it up in March to start spanking people. Newcastle, I think they win that game. It could be, well, this is, I think they win that game, but do not be surprised if Newcastle do it. Just because Newcastle have not been good, they've lost their last 3 Premier League games, they might just bring a reaction out of anywhere. And if they lose that Newcastle game, I think it's curtains. Fulham, I think they do. Fulham at home, that's fine. West Ham away.
No.
West Ham away, I don't like. All of their remaining games are in London, which is a nice little fun fact, by the way. All of Arsenal's remaining games are in London. They don't have to travel far. The furthest they're traveling is on the overground, and you can get the overground from Highbury Islington straight to Crystal Palace. So it is not far. That man can get they can bump train to that stadium if they really want to. It's in their hands. However, Crystal Palace away in the last game of the season, that's a toss up because who knows what's going to happen with Palace. They're in a European semi final. Stuff could happen. They could, whatever. It's West Ham away and Newcastle at home. West Ham away, I don't see them getting 3 points, but we can talk about that more. But if you look at Man City's fixtures, Burnley at home, yeah, that's a give me. Everton away, I don't think Everton weighs that hard. Everton are a good side. David Moyes has overachieved this season with Everton in their new stadium. But I feel like Man City, if their lives depend on it, can go to the Hill Dickinson and win.
Definitely.
Brentford away is tough for City.
It's tough. That's tough.
It's tough. Only because. But the thing is, I feel like City can do it just because, one, it's Manchester City, and two, it depends what Brentford are doing. Brentford had a really good chance to be in Europe right now, but they've drawn their last 5 games, so I'm not sure how that goes.
Sorry. Brentford can still qualify. Brentford are like a point behind Chelsea. No, Brentford still
yeah. Well, this is the thing. I don't think Chelsea can qualify Europe, but they're still a point behind Chelsea. But we'll get onto that later. The one for me is Bournemouth away. Bournemouth away is the one. Nah, penultimate game of the season. Out of all those teams, I feel like Bournemouth is the best team they're going to play. That Bournemouth away is Andoni Iraola's last home game. If City are ever going to drop points, it could be that game. I don't say they do, but I feel like if they drop points, it could be that game. Then they've got Crystal Palace away at home. Who knows? I don't know why Crystal Palace are being the team that makes people going to win the title, but hey ho. So I look at these remaining 5 fixtures. I don't think it comes down to goal difference. And the reason I don't think it comes down to goal difference because this is the Premier League. Like, people were finding it very hard to get back-to-back wins in like January. Like, this league is not as hard. This league is not as easy as people think it is. So I genuinely believe that when it comes to it, this run is going to be who just doesn't drop the least points or who doesn't drop the most points. I don't think they both win their 5 games and I don't think they drop points. But listen, we shall see at the end of the day because I think it's now going down to the wire. And you mentioned Gyökeres before and saying that Gyökeres is the reason they're going to lose it on goal difference. He's their top goal scorer at the end of the day. So you can't fault the guy. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't
Yeah.
hate on him.
No. But I mean, in terms of like, if you're Arsenal, don't worry about running up the goal difference. Just worry about winning
Yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah. Just yeah,
Like,
they have
just don't-
they don't have that luxury.
yeah, just they don't have the luxury of like worrying about scoring more goals. And also, I don't believe that you can just flip a switch like that and start scoring goals when you weren't scoring goals previously. So just concentrate on winning games. But on Gyökeres, one thing that I will say, like in terms of the aftermath of that game, the Arsenal game, Arsenal City game or City Arsenal game, is there is a division amongst Arsenal fans in terms of their view of Kai Havertz.
Mm,
And like Arsenal fans, a lot of them were happy when they saw Kai Havertz in the starting 11, and a lot of them are like, "Oh yeah, you can blame him for missing the chances, but look at what he did in the game. He got us the goal through his pressing. He it was a proper centre forward performance. He brought people into play." And I'm like, fair enough. Objectively, he did some good things in the game, but my thing is people trying to protect him from criticism is that say you have a goalkeeper that has a 10 out of 10 games, makes has like the De Gea game that he had a few years ago where he makes an incredible amount of saves and he keeps you in it or whatever, but the goalkeeper makes one error, pass it out to the wrong team and this team score a goal. No one's going to care about the 15 great saves you made before. And it's the
yeah,
same as a centre back. Say Gabriel puts in 15 big tackles and 10 big blocks, and he has an incredible game, but then he passes the ball out the back, he misplaces the pass, he passes the opposition, and they score a goal. No one's going to care about how big of a game he had. They're going to care about the mistake he made. And football
yeah,
is won in both boxes. And
yeah,
so, if you are a forward, if you're your team's striker, it doesn't matter if you had an incredible game. When you get a gilt edge chance, two of them, and you don't score them, you are going to be the narrative. And so when I'm looking at Arsenal and how they progress from here, I'm interested to see how they manage Victor Gyökeres. Because if you're Victor Gyökeres and you're on the bench in your team's biggest game of the season against your biggest rivals in the league, and it takes until the 84th minute for you to come off the bench when your team needs
mm,
a goal, like you must, and you're your team's leading scorer this season, oh, like I'm sorry, you're talking to your agent the next day and you're looking for a move because
mm.
what's your long-term future at the football club? If your team needs a goal, you're your team's top scorer this season. It's the biggest game of the season, and City are
And
leaving
you're
space in
yeah,
behind, and you're not coming off the bench. I'm sorry, but you're done. Because in the Champions League final, Arsenal fans are going to want Kai Havertz to start that one as well if
mm,
they make it. So Arsenal have got a lot of questions to answer, but ultimately you've got to answer those questions. You've got to go and win these games. This is a season that I don't think it's going to happen now, but Arsenal can still win the league and the Champions League. It's still feasible. If my team was in their position right now, in the Champions League semi-final against Atletico and top of the league, I would think my team's winning both those trophies. Do you know what I mean? And so would you.
yeah, yeah. Of course.
So that's the reality of the situation. We all have eyes. We see the football they're playing, and obviously it looks very unlikely that's going to be the case. But they are in the Champions League semi-final, and they're top of the Premier League. And there's 5 games left in the Premier League, and there's potentially three games left in the Champions League. So go out there and do it. And if you do it, it will quiet down the noise.
Mm. And you know what? I know I agree. The fact that Gyökeres didn't start, that's scary for him, considering whether you like him or not, whether you think he's had a good season or not. Out of all the strikers that were signed in the Premier League, he's scored the most goals this season. He's got 18 in all competitions. There's not even others that have got to there,
Hey,
whether you
no,
like
wait,
him or not. So
yeah, no. Go and check João Pedro's goals overall in all comps.
all comps,
Yeah, I think João Pedro
João
got
Pedro
50,
got more than all team.
I think João Pedro got 15 league goals.
What? No, you don't.
Check.
João Pedro 15 league goals. I know he's got 14 league goals. Okay.
And then how many goals in the all comps?
League goals, all competitions. Does João Pedro have? 19.
Yeah, thought so.
14 in the league, three in the Champions League, 2 goals in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But was Jokeres's was that penalty his 18th? Yeah,
That penalty was his 18th.
against.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So João Pedro is the only one. Fair enough. I forgot. But João Pedro was signed last season because he's a world champion. Who knows? Like Like, do you know what I mean? Was that trophy this season or last season? Who knows? It's all
Yeah,
fugazi. We
bro,
can't
that
see it
trophy,
doesn't
that
exist.
trophy doesn't exist.
Exactly, it don't exist, bro. It doesn't exist. But so in the running now, to answer your question or to ask you, what do you think happens? Do you think it goes down to the wire? Do you think people drop points? And do you think it's who do you think are the favourites now?
Oh, City are the favourites now.
Yeah.
City are the favourites now. I think it does go down to wire though. Um,
Okay.
these teams are not perfect teams.
Yeah.
Um, but I just look at City. If you look at their last four games, they beat Arsenal in the cup. They beat Liverpool in the cup. They beat Chelsea in the league, and they beat Arsenal in the league just now. Like they're, do you know what I mean? They're the most informed team in the country, and
Yeah.
they've
Well,
won
not Man
the.
United are officially, but
Are they?
yeah, in the league.
What do you mean over what period? No cap.
Over since Michael Carrick's come on, we've got the most points in the league. But
Oh,
yeah,
probably. Look, you started it from when your manager comes in.
yeah, bro, I'm just saying,
That's
like
insane. That's insane from you, by the way. No, no, we are.
January. Oh, no, okay, okay. Let's not do when Michael Carrick comes in.
Well,
Calendar year of 2026.
no, no, no. But that's not what you do form. You do form tables of the last five games. We're talking about. No one
No,
says
okay, no, but let's do calendar year, bro. Messi scored
that.
91
Yeah,
goals in a
of
calendar
course
year.
you'll
We
do
we do
calendar.
calendar years in football.
Of course you'll do calendar year. My man said, bro, I said Man City are the most informed team in the league. You said no, Man United are. No, from when Carrick comes in. I said, who brought up Carrick? Nobody brought up. Nobody
I was gonna
brought
throw
up.
that in there, bro. Michael
Nobody brought.
Carrick's Michael Carrick's
Nobody
Reds,
brought.
bro.
No one brought up Carrick.
No, okay. Like if we're doing last five games, yeah, sure, Man City.
Okay, yeah, of course. We're not talking about when Carrick when we brought up. As Simon Jordan was saying, what's that got to do with the price of cheese? Like, I don't
It's
know.
true. I got
Yeah, to answer your question about the league, yeah, I think City win it, but I just think it's not done yet. It's not fully done. And
yeah,
we'll see what happens. But if you're an Arsenal fan, you just got to carry on believing, man. Carry on believing. But
but
I do. Okay, so this is one thing that I will say.
them niggas don't believe anymore, man.
Yeah, but okay, cool. But this is one thing I will say. I'm like, what do other fans want Arsenal fans to do? And yeah, bro, don't get twisted. Arsenal are my most hated team. I've got no love lost for them. I don't want them to win the league. But when Arsenal
Mhm.
fans sit there and say, yo, I still believe whatever, not us, but certain people call them deluded, right? But if Arsenal fans say, oh,
Mhm.
it's done now, it's doing good, people say, oh, that you're the reason why you're not going to win. No belief. You're turning against the team. There's the fact the team's seeing the noise. It's like, right. I want people to admit, neutral fans or fans that aren't Arsenal fans, just admit you're enjoying it because it's funny. But don't try and like gaslight Arsenal fans into doing some weird logic and saying you're the reason why the team ain't winning, but you're also deluded. Like, we just don't like Arsenal because we think Arsenal fans are loud and we think it's funny they're not winning the league. But to try and do this mental arithmetic saying, no, Arsenal fans are the reason why they're not winning the league, I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
nigga.
no, I don't say that. I think Arsenal fans make them nervous, and if your manager's nervous and he's a stomachache babe, that doesn't help. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Arsenal fans are the reason. Fans are the reason their team's rubbish. Fans ain't the reason that their team can't be clutch. That's down to the players and that's down to the manager. I think why people target the fans is because, of course, you live in London. I know you're in Brighton now, but they're us. You know, Arsenal fans. They're loud. They're boisterous, especially when they have no reason to be. And number two is that at the end of the day, like we saw this coming. No
Yeah.
one decided to get onto like when these ex players were saying this team that could win the league is the worst team we've ever seen. It wasn't because we've all just decided to say we hate Arsenal. It's because we all have eyes and we all said this team's nasty. Like we've watched Premier League champions, whether Leicester City won the championship, whether Blackburn in '95 won the championship, whether like other United teams that weren't that good won the championship, but no one was gonna say, yeah, that team was nasty. Even if you look at that team on paper, they were still better than everyone else, but they still played good football. This Arsenal team wasn't playing good football, and Theo Walcott had the audacity to compare it to United's '08. By the way, which I was watching Rio meets with Giggs and Evra, and he was like, brother, like Theo Walcott is a menace to society. He said that's not good for the kids watching football now because, and I low-key agree with him in a sense because you're having people compare this team that's won nothing. First of all, which you should never do. You should never compare teams that won nothing to teams that actually won something. You have them comparing them to all timers, bro. Like it makes no sense. So I think that's why people target Arsenal fans and want to get onto them. But I do agree with you. It's not their fault. Like I think it's the players and the manager. But a quick one was Anthony Taylor the ref yesterday.
Yeah,
Shout out Anthony Taylor. And the reason I'm going to shout him out because the Haaland and Gabriel situation, the fact that Gabriel moved his head, I've seen that been given a red so many times. And if that gets given a red, that changes everything. Gabriel's out for a few games. Arsenal have a scapegoat to say when it came down to it, we missed one of our centre backs. Like, because remember, year one was Saliba was out or Gabriel was out. Year two was this. Like, there's always been an excuse. And if he sends Gabriel off, they've got a scapegoat. They're like, okay, cool. We didn't win it because we missed one of our most important centre backs in the run in, and City just went on to win it. Thank God, like because Haaland didn't deserve a yellow there. Head to head, he moved, and that's been given a red. And he said, you know what? If I give this a red now, it takes all the spotlight from what could be a good run in for the neutral. And he thought of the Premier League product. Do you know sometimes where you take your ego out and think what's best for the product? Two teams battling it out and someone eventually winning, or one team or two teams battling it out, but one has a massive excuse. And the fact that now Arsenal don't have an excuse, and if they do eventually lose, it's not going to be, oh, because Gabriel was out for 3 games because he got a straight red for violent conduct, blah, 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 blah. So, quick shout out to Anthony Taylor there for doing that because that's the right decision. I think if that was any other game at the start of the season, that's a red because we've seen that been given so many times. But I feel like he generally just thought, you know what? Don't give these niggas a scapegoat, bro. Don't give these niggas an excuse if it doesn't go well for them. Let 11 teams let 11 players be on the pitch because that would have been the excuse if they lost. They'll be like, oh, Gabriel got sent off. This is that. Blah 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 blah. But quick shout out to Anthony Taylor. Um,
yeah.
the race for Europe. Quick,
I would,
gone.
yeah. I think that, yeah. Shout out Anthony Taylor, but Haaland made this job easy because Haaland,
Yeah, he
The
didn't react. He didn't
Gabriel,
go down.
yeah, exactly. And the Gabriel like Haaland battle is like if you're a betting person, you can put money on both of them players getting bookings. They don't like each other. The whole game they're battling. There's a point where Gabriel ripped Haaland's
Mm,
shirt. They'll like for the goal, Haaland's like, kind of pulling Gabriel's shirt whilst he's finishing it. Like, but Haaland didn't go down because he's not a pussy hole. But if Haaland goes down,
yeah,
he gives the referee no choice. So like. Shout out to Haaland, and also Haaland's come under a lot of criticism in recent weeks because yeah, his goal scoring is dried up, and he gets the bulk of his goals at the beginning of the season every single year. But he in a big game where he didn't play very well and he missed the chance, he came up with a huge moment. But we do have to talk about the Shirky moment though. Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
goal was you're gonna say that I'm glazing it, or you're gonna no, not glazing. You're gonna just. I'm not meaning to bring back to Chelsea, but like in terms of the Premier League, we've had like
What does Shaggy have to do with Chelsea, man?
yeah. But in terms of Premier League,
I'll let you land. I'll let you land.
we've had wingers who've come in right, like Salah goes down as an all time great. But in terms of football, bro, like the way he moves for that goal reminds me of how Eden Hazard used to move for some goals. Where you know when Hazard just moving shifty, you'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah,
That reminded me of that. Like, and I ain't seen a winger in the Premier League play like he's not a winger. He's kind of a number 10, but like a forward in the Premier League play with that type of grace since Eden Hazard, and not just grace for the sake of grace or just skills for the sake of skills, but effective grace and effective skills that help you win games, and win titles. Like.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that goal reminded me of the Eden Hazard goal. Remember the Eden Hazard goal against Arsenal, coincidentally, where he took it from the halfway line, and there's a bit of a dribble where you're like, I don't even know how he's manipulated the ball there.
yeah.
And yeah, shout out to Shirky for that. And then North African brothers, bro, like they just got something a bit different about them.
Techie man. Like,
Thank you.
listen, Shirky's a hooper. I'm just annoyed he plays for my rival club, and like, it's like Patrick Mahomes for me. I can't appreciate his greatness because I wanted it for myself, and the fact that like I was, back on the pod, I was screaming for Shirky when he was at Lyon. I literally said I wanted Shirky to score at Old Trafford, but Man United to still go through, which I got my wish in the end. But then that resulted in him going to City for like 20 something million. What can I do? But anyway, enough about them lot. The race for Europe. The race for Europe had an interesting weekend as both our teams played. We did our second only double to Chelsea with a 1-0 win. Second only time we've done a double against you, man, in the Premier League, which is quite an insane stat. Quite an insane stat. Chelsea have never been a team that Man United beat. like we beat you when it matters, but more times there's times you beat us a lot. Like we jeje a lot with each other, but we got the job done. Our first double over them since the 1920 season. For Man United now, we'll go through every single team quickly from third till, because it looks like from third to 10th, any of these teams could be in Europe right now. So we'll quickly have some talks about them. Man United third. It looks like Chelsea are 10 points away from us now. So it looks like, you know what, Man United should secure Champions League football.
Yeah,
There's now that whether we finish third, fourth, fifth or not, who cares? But it looks like Man United have all but secured. We need two more wins to secure Champions League football. It's looking more likely now, I think, if Michael Carrick stays. If Michael Carrick does that, he gets the job. But I'm torn. I'm really, really torn about Michael Carrick. And the reason I'm torn about Michael Carrick is because the Leeds was atrocious. It was terrible. And yeah, you can have one games, you can have learning curves as managers, and you can have the time. But it made me look back at to what he was doing at Middlesbrough. And it made me look at his substitutions, and I was like, I don't like the way he makes substitutions late. And then I was just like, but then I don't like the way he talks in press conferences and blah, 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 blah. And I started nitpicking, and I thought to myself, I was at the Football Blacklist Awards, and I was speaking to Dharmesh from Sky, and he's a United fan as well. And he said to me, he was like, do you think if Barca and Real Madrid were in this position, would they go for someone like Carrick? Like, would
yeah,
they go for
they
their
would.
homegrown guy?
They
Like,
would. Yeah, they would.
so they would if they
They would.
do something. Arbeloa is not gonna. Arbeloa lost that job when Michael Elise put that ball in the back of the net, right? Arbeloa is not gonna stay in that Real Madrid job.
Yeah,
Man United. So, and this is the complex I have now with Manchester United, because when Barcelona and Real Madrid fall off, they don't fall off the way Man United do. We're just trying to get back to being Manchester United, which we still don't know what that means. So I'm torn because I'm like, okay, do I think Michael Carrick's going to win the league? Probably not. And that's just not me. Like, that's not me being faithful. I'm just saying, like, I'm just you taking this for face value. But then I got to ask myself, it's like, we've been bad for so long. I shouldn't even be thinking about winning the league. I should be thinking, can Man United finish in the top four for back-to-back seasons? I don't think we've done that post Fergie. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, but I don't think we have.
well,
Every time we have made
finished top four back-to-back seasons. Yeah,
when
under Ollie.
Oh, third and second. Yeah. Okay, cool. Ollie's the only person to do it. And even still, it was halfway through that season. He took
Yeah,
over. So 1920, we finished third in the end, which we went on a stupid run during lockdown where he started off sixth and we finished third. And then we finished second the season after.
yeah.
That's the only time we finished in the Champions League spaces back to back. So
Mm.
we need to, I feel like Man United, every time we reach the Champions League, we try to run before we can walk. And so now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, Michael Carrick's come in. He was told to steady the ship. Jason Wilcock told the players the objective is to make Champions League football because we were sixth at the time. But right now, if someone told me that Carrick was going to come in and we could comfortably finish third, everyone would have bit your hand off. So because that reality is looking more and more likely, I'm like, do I just stick with him, get a better squad, and see how it goes, or do I try aim for greatness and be like, okay, thanks, Carrick, but let's go for someone else who has more experience as a manager, but maybe not more experience in the Premier League. Because the Premier League is its own entity. You can be one of we've done we've done the hipster manager, we've done the upcoming manager, we've done the person who's won trophies, we've done the philosophy, we've done every single thing. And right now, Michael Carrick has come in, not only has he steadied the ship, Man United look like they've progressed as a team. So I'm torn. I don't know what you think and how you think about it, but I'm really torn because I'm not sure what I want at the moment, which is quite confusing for me as a Man United fan.
Like it's hard to judge Carrick, and I know that like United fans don't love to hear it, but like this is an anomaly season, bro. Like in the whole of English football, all the way down to step 17, Man United play less games than anyone. Man United are playing 40 games a season. No one in the whole of English football plays less games than that. And so, like down to the level that my brother plays at, all the way up to like, bro, no one in anyone who's lacing up boots on a Saturday who's getting paid is not playing less games than Man United played this season. That's just a fact.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
if you are looking at Michael Carrick as a Manchester United manager who next season will have to deal being in the Champions League with the extended group phase and in the FA Cup and in the Carabao Cup. We don't know if he can deal with that, and that's a whole thing within itself. Like we've seen Eddie Howe, who I think is a decent manager, but anytime Newcastle are in Europe, Newcastle flop. They absolutely
Mm.
flop in the league. Like right now,
Can I
they're in the
quickly
bottom
ask you,
half.
when you say we don't think he can deal with that, is that we don't think he can deal with the amount of games, or we don't think he can maintain this level that Man United are playing
No, we
now
don't.
with these
Not
games?
no. I just say don't. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't like.
Because he's
Not that I
managed
don't.
in the Championship, which is a lot of games.
Cool. Yeah, and then he lost his job at Middlesbrough in the Championship in the second season. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's not like in the championship he did a flipping. He won the league like Enzo Maresca won at Leicester. Or he won the league like Lampard did this year with Coventry. Like he did well in his first season, and then second season they finished 10th and then they sacked him. And so I'm not saying this is not me saying I don't think he can do the job because after and I always jump the gun and stuff. But after his first 5 games, I was like, no, give him the job. But like you're right to be torn on it because we don't know, and I don't think anybody knows
Mm.
really. Like, there's no definitive answer. If you give him the job long term and he flops next season, everyone will say we shouldn't give him the job. If you don't give him the job next season and you bring in somebody else and they flop, you will say, oh, you should have given Carrick the job. Like football,
Yeah,
all I know about football right now is that I don't know what's good, bro. It's situational. I saw Vincent Company get Burnley relegated and now he's managing the Champions League semi-final. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Bro, it's all situational. Like, if the board bring in the right players and the recruitment's good and the atmosphere is good and Carrick's tactics are also work with the players, then he'll be good. But like him being good is not solely dependent on him as a manager. There's so many different
yeah.
factors. Like
There's
you
so many
said it so
different
many
other
times.
factors. Yeah,
You have to have a good summer. If you have a bad summer and you don't give Carrick the tools and he doesn't do well, is that his fault? Like, does that mean he's a bad manager? Like, bro, I understand why you're torn. I fully get why Man United fans be torn because he's a former player who was incredible for you, was a smart player as well, and then he's done well since coming in as interim. But there's a few things that you've seen that you don't necessarily like, and he's only had to contend with being a manager in one competition. Like, that doesn't discredit what he's done this season. He's done a very good job. Man United are going to finish third. But nobody, bro, the answer is nobody knows, innit? Like, nobody,
yeah,
like, you could go and bring in Nagelsmann, who's on paper is a better manager than Carrick, but he can come in and do a worse job than Carrick. Like, on paper, Jose Mourinho or on paper, like, yeah, Jose Mourinho is a better manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but Solskjaer got better league results. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
yeah,
Like, bro, right now, football is in apart from if you're Pep Guardiola, I think football's random, bro. I
yeah. It's
honestly think
very
football's random.
volatile.
Like it's
Mm.
situational. It's like who would have said that when Realm just signed Kylian Mbappe that they go 2 seasons without winning the trophy for the first time in like 16 years. Like nobody,
Yeah,
not one person would have said that. So like it's all random, bro. And I'm never going to criticize Man United fans for wanting Carrick in or wanting Carrick out because we don't know. We don't know.
yeah. No, it's true. That's what I said. It's a huge summer, and because it comes in a World Cup as well, like we're not even sure if we're seeing the heights of Michael Carrick ball because you would say any interim manager needs a pre-season to get their philosophy down. Like we could say he's
Exactly.
just steadying the ship, and so we have no idea. I think it's more the fact that I'm talking about this shows I'm really thinking about it, and I'm worried because it's a massive summer for Man United, and not only a massive summer, it's a massive summer during the World Cup as well. So it's going to be even harder. But I think it's something you just have to address at the end of the season. Like I look back now, and at least we're not making the mistakes of 1920 where we gave Ollie the job by the March international break, and then for those that remember, we went on a nasty run where he won. We lost 4 out of his last 5 games, which was 4-0 at Goodison. There was the 1-0 in the Manchester Derby. Then we lost another one as well. Like it was nasty. And obviously, like because we were just off the high of PSG, and even though we got smacked up by Barcelona, he was still kept in the job. But those were signs. So yeah,
But
it's a weird
can we?
one.
Sorry. I just want to like think to myself because I'm trying to think how many managers have come in as interim managers and then gone on to have like a long successful career at the club. Like I can't think of too many, bro.
I
Yeah, it
can't think of
doesn't,
too many either.
bro. That it doesn't really like. I see like they'll have a good spell or good stints, but I don't really remember many managers that come in. Like when Klopp came in halfway through the season, he came in and they gave him a 4 or 5 year contract. Like I
Yeah.
can't really think of many managers
But
where
that's
it's
because
like
Jurgen Klopp had
Yeah,
like precedent.
of course, and like that's a different situation. But I can't think of many like try before you buy managers that have gone on to be like successful and won league titles. I don't think it really happens. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think it really happens anyway. But as we said, football's situational now. I
Yeah.
think it's more dependent on Manchester, and I think Michael Carrick. I think this is more dependent on Manchester United as a club rather than Michael Carrick as a manager
Yeah, for
and
sure.
a
I agree.
coach. And I
I
feel
agree.
like I'm more focused on Man United because regardless, if Man United get it right, and even if we think Michael Carrick's the guy, a next guy should be able to come in and steer the ship. Man United need to be working as a club where whoever comes in can implement their style, but it doesn't differ. Like we still have the Man United way, we still have those fast wingers, we still have those people who want to do well in a sense. So that's what I feel like we need at the end of the day. But again, who knows? Next, Aston Villa. They won against Sunderland in a European semi-final. Do you think they either focus on Europe or do they just decide to just be top five in the Premier League? Because they can still drop points.
So Villa are. I think they're qualified. I reckon through their league position, it's going to be hard for anyone to catch them. Like they're fourth right
Yeah,
now. Chelsea are what sixth, and how many points are Chelsea off Villa?
10.
Like I don't think that gets overcome in what 5 games. Like
Yeah. But if
like
they're
that.
if they're concentrating for if they okay, let's say they don't. Let's say I guess Villa are concentrate. They've got a European semi final and they got Forest at it as well. What would because you need one of the English teams to win the Europa League, is that correct? Or you need Villa to win the Europa League to get your Champions League football?
What's for it to go down to sixth place?
Yeah.
We need Villa to finish fifth and win the Europa League.
Oh, so you need Villa to finish fifth.
Mhm.
Okay.
Which can happen because Villa
Oh,
still got to play. Villa got to play Liverpool.
oh, perfect. And Liverpool and United have got to play Liverpool. Liverpool are only 3 points away.
Chelsea got to play Liverpool as well
Okay, so
at
oh, so
Anfield.
it's still
At Anfield.
at Anfield. Yeah, but you never know. This Liverpool team barely scraped past Everton. So okay, obviously you've got Brentford, you've got Bournemouth now in the mix, you've got Brighton in the mix for you, and Everton all in the mix, and even Sunderland only a point away from those teams I mentioned, and Sunderland only a point away from. If you guys are not careful, you could.
Finish in the bottom half, yeah, easily, easily. Like I predict us to finish in the bottom half now.
Let's
Like
go on to Chelsea because Stamford Bridge was terrible. Fans don't. I spoke to a lot of fans outside the stadium. They don't want to see Liam Rosenior at the club anymore. And I don't want to say you're not going to finish 15th, but this reminds me of when. Do you remember I spoke to you time ago when Man United were in this position last season, and we were
yeah,
like, okay, can we still make Europe? And I was listening to Talk of the Devils and said Andy Mitten. He said United don't need to look up the table. We need to look down the table. We need to look at people below us. And you're on 48 points in sixth with 11 goal difference. If I look at the teams, put it this way, 14th is 6 points. You're 6 points away from 14th.
hmm
Between 14th and 6th is only 6 points. I'm not saying you're going to finish 14th, but in the form you're in now, the way Stamford Bridge was groaning on Saturday night, you could finish in the bottom half.
brother. Like I don't think people who aren't like people who understand. Like we are the least informed team if we're going for the last 5 games in the country, and it's
Mhm.
not even fucking close.
Yeah, you
We're
haven't
in
scored
worse.
in the Premier League. Only scored against Port Vale.
So we've lost our last 7 games. Oh no, we've lost
6 out of 7.
six out of our last 7. The only win was against Port Vale in the cup. We've lost our last 4 Premier League games without scoring. The last clean sheet Liam Rosenior's team kept was in his first league game as manager. So like we are objectively, in terms of form, one of the worst teams in the Premier League, if not the worst team in the Premier League. And so, barring the Spurs game, which is the penultimate game of the season, which I know that we'll win, like we could lose every other game. We are terrible right now, and people. I've never seen it this way, but people talk about it in terms of transfers and stuff. We need to qualify for the Champions League. We need to qualify for the Champions League, brother. do not care about qualifying for the Champions League if I don't think my team can win it. Like you can say, yeah, but you mean you can bring in better players or keep your players. Like this board has shown us that they haven't got the ability or haven't got the know-how or the kind of intuition to bring in players that I think will improve the squad. And I think qualifying for the Champions League papers over cracks and it lines pockets. I think not qualifying for the Champions League really kind of shakes the board and highlights what the issues are. And so for me, the ideal situation, the worst case scenario is for Chelsea to qualify for like the Conference League. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The best case scenario obviously would be to qualify for the Champions League because well, okay, whatever. But bro, if we don't qualify for Europe altogether, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It
Okay, so
wouldn't.
let
It
me
wouldn't be the worst
pose
thing.
this to you. I totally agree. I feel like sometimes it's crazy in football, but sometimes you need to like it's not even tanking, but you really need to suffer to make sure that the root of the
Bro,
evil,
bro,
like
Tony. I've got American owners. I wouldn't be surprised if they're thinking, yeah, we're tanking for Hayden Hackney. Them niggas
yeah,
probably
bro,
think we're tanking
you
on
probably are,
purpose.
bro.
Bro, them niggas think
You
we're
lot
tanking.
think you got the first round pick from the championship, bro. Like,
Yeah, man, they're tanking for Hayden Hackney, bro. Like, oh my god, like honestly, right now, yeah. Sorry, pose what you're going to pose to me, and then we'll go.
well, I was gonna ask because obviously a lot of Chelsea fans want Liam Rossini out. I think as niggas we want Liam Rossini to do well. There's not many black coaches in the league, let alone black coaches in top clubs. Do you think that if Rossini doesn't get European football, he stays in the job just because of the blue coat ties? Or do you feel like it's down for him to stay within the European spaces and you work from there?
I think he's the fall guy for a poor season. I don't think their situation will be tenable. If Liam Rossini doesn't qualify for Europe, Chelsea fans will not allow him to stay as Chelsea manager. And no matter his
Mm,
blue coat ties. What I really think is that Liam Rossini has been done so dirty by blue coat.
mm,
The perception of Liam Rossini before he was headhunted by Chelsea, I say headhunted by Chelsea, he was already within the blue coat system, but before Chelsea brought him in from Strasbourg, was this young, progressive, black English manager that's doing very well over in France, right? And if you're Liam Rossini and we live in an alternate reality and he's still a Strasbourg manager, when you've heard that Andoni Iraola is moving on from Bournemouth, he should be one of the leading candidates for that job, right?
mm,
That's where his PR should be. His PR after he gets sacked by Chelsea, after I wouldn't say he was forced to take the job, but it's a job that he couldn't say no to. He wouldn't say no to. His bosses are saying, "Here's a promotion, take it. Even if you're not ready, you're taking it now." The PR around Rossini and all the noise around him and all the stuff about people saying he's cringe, like he's not going to get linked to another Premier League job ever again.
ever
Like
again.
he's
Yeah.
going to have to go down to League One or the Championship, or maybe go back to League where his reputation is still somewhat intact. But reputationally, he has done this job has done so much damage to Liam Rossini, and I don't think it's very fair. Obviously, there's things he could do better. There's tactics that he could employ to get us to maybe play better football and get more results and score more goals. But ultimately, he's not being given the tools to succeed, and we can act like it
Mm,
was hunky dory under Maresca. It was a lot better under Maresca because I think Maresca's a better coach. But the results had already started to nosedive. We remember the battering that we took at Ellen Road. We remember some of the results that we were getting back in the Maresca's reign. And we remember him coming out in the press conference and saying that he doesn't feel like he was supported by the club. So the writing was on the wall for that relationship anyway. But I just think that Liam Rossini has been done dirty. And I feel like as a result of that, when he does become the fall guy in the summer, when he loses his job, I don't think he can take I don't think he should take that much blame for what's going on right now. I think the majority of the blame should lie at the door of the hierarchy at Chelsea, the recruitment team at Chelsea, who yet again have left us short, and we're paying the price for it right now. And I think that there's a big possibility that Chelsea don't qualify for Europe.
mm. But again, as you said, if Chelsea don't qualify for Europe, that's low-key what you want in the end of the day, just so it doesn't paper over the cracks. Last but not least, relegation battle. Wolves are officially practically down. Burnley are practically down. Big win for Nottingham Forest against Burnley. Morgan Gibbs
Huge,
White,
huge.
which is. But I thought to myself, a quick question, because I rate Morgan Gibbs White. I always think
So
he's
do I.
always been a good footballer.
So
I
do
think if
I.
Elliot Anderson is worth 100 mil, what would Morgan Gibbs White be worth?
Um, less than that because of the market. Like, do you know in
It,
football,
ma-
like
it makes no
in
sense.
yeah, but you know, like in American football, like the person that protects the quarterback is more times than not one of the highest paid players in the team because it's a position dependent thing. I think
Yeah.
centre
So
midfield.
when did stuff get? So let me ask you, when did football get position dependent? I feel like football only got position dependent with strikers and maybe sometimes goalkeepers because that's where we saw records being broken, and those are the two key pitches. Like one scores the goals and one protects you from goals. And at the end of the day, the only way you can win a game is through goals. But
So the reason why I think centre midfielders now, like if you look in the last like 5 years in the Premier League, Enzo Fernandez over 100 mil, Declan Rice over 100 mil, Moises Caicedo over 100 mil. The reason why like I think centre midfielders now that's like the price. And when you went to Brighton and you chatted to them in January, they told you over 100 mil for Baleba is because football right now is a coach's game to its detriment. I think it's a coach's game, and the way the coaches can kind of implement their tactics or the conduit for coaches on the pitch is normally their centre midfielders. So if you get a centre midfielder that
mm,
can do what you want them to do, more time you're going to play the football that you want to play football. So the reason why Arsenal, and again this is no detriment, bro, but the reason why Arsenal play the football they play is because Declan Rice is the player that he is. If Declan Rice is Pedri, Arsenal are a different team. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, that's true.
So like, so
And
you're said that's why for you, Man United, you've been crying out for a centre midfielder. Like you've been crying out because you know that if you get the right centre midfielder, you'll be okay. And
yeah,
so that's why I think that centre midfielders are like they're the premium, bro. And right now, really and truly, we live in a world where we're seeing number tens kind of where Morgan Gibbs White play. They're up and down, bro. Phil Foden don't play football no more. Like Cole Palmer's up and down. Like
mm,
Morgan Rogers is up and down. Like these English number tens, Eze is up and down. These English number tens are like I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to pay 100 mil for one of them. I'll tell you that.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like I grew up watching football where what was it, Florentino Perez, where he signed David Beckham and he signed Claude Makelele, and what was the famous quote? He got rid of Makelele and he was like, oh, what was the quote? Do you remember what he said? Where he was like,
No.
"You don't pay." There was so when Real Madrid signed Beckham and they paid all them P's. Let me get it up. Perez quote on Makelele in 2003 when Beckham was signed. So when Beckham signed, obviously Makelele left, and I think he went to U-Man after, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went to U-Man. Yeah. So it blocks. So when Beckham signed, it blocks Makelele's contract renewal, and he basically said Makelele won't be missed. He never passed the ball more than 3 meters. He does not appear in any of the ground search results, so I cannot present it. He says Makelele won't be missed. He never passed the ball more than 3 meters, and then Zidane obviously quoted it looking back because they were like, he was the engine of our team. Why would you get rid of the engine? Zidane pulled out the quote saying, why put a gold layer on a Bentley, stuff like this, blah, 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 blah. Like, why get rid of the engine of a team? But that was how DMs were viewed back then. Like,
Mm.
Makelele was not given the contract because they said, who cares about the DM where I'm going to get David Beckham who can pass the ball 50 yards? Why do I care about a nigga who's the engine of the team who passes the ball 2, 3 yards?
Mm-hmm.
That was only 2003. Look at where the game is now. Like, brother, if Makelele was playing in today's game,
Yeah, yeah.
well over 100 mil.
Bro, if
Well
N'Golo
over
Kante,
100 mil.
if N'Golo Kante was playing today, do you know, yeah,
Well over 100 mil.
well over
And
100.
N'Golo Kante was peaking, what, nearly just over, maybe just a bit less than 10 years ago now. Like, the game in the market has changed so much where DMs, the position that was regarded, even though it was a very important position, I feel like it became an important position. It's always been an important position. I feel like all good teams have had a proper good centre midfielder, but back in the day, centre midfielders were just up and down.
Mm.
It wasn't specialized until maybe in the mid 2000s, I want to say. And but now that's one of the most important pieces on the pitch. Like it's one of the most expensive. Like centre midfielders are going more for like more than strikers. Strikers are in the 70, 80 mark, and centre
Yeah,
midfielders are going for 100 mil and stuff like that. And your tens. There's barely even tens now. Like
bro, there's not
football is
tens. There's not tens.
it's in such a weird place. But
Yeah, it's in the mud, bro. It's in the mud. But do you not
yeah,
think that's it's coincidental in terms of like I'm just checking something real quick. But do you not think it's coincidental that like if you look at the top managers, bro. Like the two top managers in the Premier League, they were midfielders. Do you know, like the two managers who are top of managing the teams at the top of
Yeah,
the
one
table in
was
the
a good
Premier League?
one, one wasn't.
Yeah, well, I didn't
One
watch
played for his
Guardiola.
country and one
I, I,
wasn't.
I didn't watch Guardiola, so I don't know.
No, Guardiola was he played in Barcelona. He was good. Like he and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
he
yeah. He was good, but like, what I'm
he.
saying is that like what I'm saying is
You
these
watch Mikel Arteta? Was he a good midfielder?
no, but these managers, I'm saying, just they were midfielders, and so like and it makes sense. Like they're to
Michael
them
Carrick,
midfielders. Yeah, Mount
Unai
Carrick's a
Emery.
midfielder. Was Embiid a midfielder?
No, I feel like he was a defender.
Um,
Did Unai?
Luis Enrique was a midfielder.
Yeah,
Xabi Alonso is obviously a midfielder. Um, yeah, it's and I guarantee you, Rodri will be a bad man manager. Do you know what I mean? Like Rodri will be a bad man manager.
yeah. Unai Emery was a midfielder. Well, he played left mid.
Yeah, bro. It's just the way the game's gone, and so like, yeah. So to come back round to Morgan Gibbs White, he's not worth as much as Elliot Hansen, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is it's just the market. But let's quickly wrap up the football section with Spurs, man. I saw some Spurs fans on Twitter, and he said that goal, that Ruta equalizer, hit me harder than their Champions League final. That only
Yeah,
happened 6 years ago. He said
yeah.
that goal hit me harder than
Totally.
bro. Like,
Do you want me to? Do you want me to like tell you my favorite quote of the weekend? It's from CJ.
go
Big
on.
up CJ Deludaguna, who watches the podcast. CJ was like, Spurs are like a joke that's gone too far, and it made me die. It made me die because,
No, bro. Honestly, that's the feeling right now. It's
that's the
starting to become a reality, and I don't know what to do with
bro.
myself.
And it's got to the point. Obviously, like I want to see Spurs go down. I'm a Chelsea fan, but to me, yeah, I'm just looking at when I saw that equalizer go in. I was like, Jesus
Bro, I
Christ,
was
like.
literally at I was literally at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, I'm seeing like there's a pub near like where the shed end is, and you just see people start celebrating. I'm like, no, have Brighton scored?
Yeah,
Have and I see it 2-2, and I said, oh
yeah,
man, like it's starting to be. We all at first it was cute. The idea of Spurs getting relegated was cute. It was
yeah,
funny,
yeah,
and we
yeah,
thought to myself, but they're too good to get relegated. I
yeah.
remember saying to a Spurs fan, I said, "You're lucky that West Ham and Forest are in this relegation battle with you, because at the end of the day, you lot are better than them. Like you're Spurs." CJ's right. It's going too far. Like
It's a joke that's gone too
if
far, bro.
West
That's it.
Ham win tonight, bro,
Yeah, yeah,
they like it's crazy. They then and if you look at Spurs' remaining fixtures, bro, it's not they've not won
Bro,
in 2026.
brother.
Like I'm gonna be seeing some nasty football fans on the Victorian lines at next season, bro. I'm gonna be seeing Rotherham niggas from Rotherham and Lincoln
bro.
on the Victorian line. Like this is not good, bro.
I'm literally at Molineux this weekend to cover Spurs or Wolves versus Spurs. And you know the meme where it's the nigger at the funeral just to check that his enemy's really dead.
Yeah. Just to check if that nigga really dead.
Yeah, bro, that's me at the Molineux on Saturday, bro. Because like I can't fathom and believe it. Do you know what I mean? Like Javi Simmons is a player that I saw play at the Euros in the semi final against England. Like I was told 12 months ago that Van der Ven's one of the best centre backs in the country. I saw 4 years ago Romero being the centre back that helped Argentina win the World Cup. I've seen brother like I saw Spurs 6 years ago in the Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? 7 years ago
Mm,
in the Champions League final. Like this doesn't make sense.
sense. No,
It
it
doesn't
doesn't.
make sense. It doesn't make sense. And so like, bro, and this is where I feel like I'm getting old and I'm getting soft. Like I think about Spurs fans, right? And again, it's fan bases that are being gaslit. It's like, yeah, but you got the best stadium in the world. Look, the NFL's here. Beyonce's here. Kendrick Lamar, SZA. Like, they're all here. Brother, they're paying the most money in the world to watch a team get relegated from the Premier League. Like, what are we even talking about here, bro? And
It
like,
makes you
you hear
think. Like Daniel, do you think this would have happened under Daniel Levy?
yeah, I don't think. I think this was emotion, bro. Like this was happening. This was happening. This was happening. Like Daniel Levy left this season, but like, what would he have done differently, bro?
True, and you got to remember last year, man, they finished 17th, bro.
Bro,
Like I know the Europa League final papered over cracks.
the Europa League final was the worst thing that happened to them because the Europa League final. Obviously, they'll love it. They'll think about the memories in Bilbao forever, and the Europa League is the Champions League to them niggas, whatever. But like we forget that they lost 22 league games last season. And
Mm,
if they don't win the Europa League final, they're not in Europe this season. They don't play an extra, what, like 10 games, 12 games this season. And I
mm,
think if you take 12 games out of the legs of the most injured team in the Premier League, they probably stay up. Do you know what I mean? This is the most
mm.
injured team in the Premier League by far that had to play 12 more extra games because they're in Europe. Like, you take away Europe, if they don't win the Champions League, and I think they're probably in a way better position than are in right now.
This is generally going to happen, isn't it?
Bro, Ruben Amorim is the reason why Spurs are getting relegated.
Bun that nigga anyway, man. Like, I hate him, bro.
I know
Like,
you do.
I hate him. But I, I don't
Ruben
even.
Amorim is the reason why Spurs are getting relegated.
If Spurs get relegated, I'll take a couple players, but
Who would you take?
this, I'll take Xavi Simmons. You know,
Nah,
yeah, him and Cunha batting it out on the left. Yeah, I need squad depth. Um, I'll
nah.
take RG Gray, but he won't come. I think they'll kill him in Leeds. Um, that's about it.
I wouldn't take Jamie Simmons
I would take Xavi Simmons.
because
I
then
think he's a good player. Like
bro.
I feel like he's got the stink of Spurs in him.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because you know what? One thing I saw about Arsenal, yeah, and I just got like that's a team for the squad players. You bring in Javi Simmons and he's competing with Cunha. You're building a team for the squad players.
Squad
They're
of
both
squad.
that squad.
Yeah,
Then he's
this
squad.
is my issue. I think Man
Squad
United,
player.
like, I think this is the
Go and get
issue.
proper left winger. Go and get like your
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah.
Go
But
and
with
get
this
another
thing,
squad player.
there's not proper left
I know,
wingers out there.
I
Like,
know. But then I'd rather go and scout in France or something than go and get Javi.
yeah,
Like,
find a nigga I don't know, bro. Yeah,
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 go and
it's
find
true.
someone.
Do
I
this.
think Javi
This is
Simmons would
why
be
you do
like
your job.
next season. You'll be looking for another left winger if you go and get Javi Simmons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can play backup 10 to Bruno. We don't have a backup 10, it's Mason Mount. So, but I do agree with you. I feel like we're doing too many prem to prem signings because,
Too
like,
many,
I
too
didn't
many.
mention Semenyo yesterday, and apparently Semenyo did not play well at all. And
Yeah, but he's like I don't think we could criticize him anyway.
no, I'm not criticizing Semenyo, but like, I look at all these prem to prem signings, and you can't do too many of them. Do you know what I mean? Because you already know what you're getting.
You can't do okay. This is an interesting
And the
conversation.
reason we're not doing two, and the reason we're doing like this is the reason why we're saying there's no superstars in the Prem because if there's going to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
superstars
yeah,
in the
yeah,
Prem,
yeah,
you sign them from another place
yeah, yeah,
or they
yeah,
come
yeah.
from your academy. They don't spawn from another Prem team.
Yeah, yeah. That's literally what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like if you want to get the superstar, like if you want to get a superstar, you go and sign Shirky from Leon. Do you know what I mean? That's how you get a new superstar in the Prem. You don't go and bring in another player from another Prem team that we already know about.
No,
Like
that we already know,
Eze,
and that's already done the hustle and bustle. They've already been
Eze
entertained
going
with the
to
Prem.
Eze going from Palace to Arsenal doesn't make a new global superstar. Like
Yeah,
you gotta go league to league, and that's why we're kind of falling behind a little bit. Like Shirky coming in, it's like it feels like otherworldly to us right now. Do you know what I mean? It feels otherworldly to us right now. I know you
I
don't want
feel
to hear
like Man
about
United
Shirky.
need a signing like that, bro. We need
Yeah,
like
bro.
all of our signings were Premier League signings, bar Shesko and Lamens. And Lamens has been a revelation. Lamens hasn't even done much, bro, but he's been a revelation to us in goal. And Sesko is a young striker who's shown glimpses. But I feel like United next season need to have an outwardly signing from another thing that just be like,
The
okay, you're
last time we had that was
Bruno
Bruno.
Fernandes.
Bruno, yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, bro, and he came from the Portuguese league, so it's possible, bro. It's possible, man. You can get these niggas from random places that are not called the Premier League.
We
But
almost,
go on.
bro. I know. We're coming up to an hour. We'll have to end this down. I've said for the longest time, there's one record in the Premier League I don't think is ever getting broken, and that's the 15 Premier League goals conceded. That's just
We didn't talk about it. We didn't talk
bro,
about it.
bro.
I,
And I've always said for the longest, there's Judge in the Omri 20 goals because I've seen bare times where Özil was on track to get it, Fabregas was on track to get it, and then strikers start missing chances and they don't get it.
the Ozil one was nasty because he was on 19 for
Yeah,
time and Giroud,
bro,
and that's why I'll never
bro,
forgive Giroud, bro.
bro,
Giroud was
bro,
nasty.
bro. Salah was on like 17 by like February
Yeah,
last
I
season.
remember. Yeah, but then he got his contract and he down tools, bro.
Yeah,
Like
but that's what I mean. Henri put some judge in that record, and like De Bruyne only matched it. But this is the first season where I'm like, yeah, it's gonna get broken.
it's gonna get broken, and it's gonna get broken from from a man called. And you know what? Bruno deserves it,
There's that,
and you
bro.
know
Yes, yeah, go,
he
yes, go,
deserves it. He
go,
deserves
yeah.
it. And you know me, I've been so vocal about Bruno Fernandes for his 6, 7 years at Manchester United, whether it's been good, whether it's been bad. But if we're not going to give this nigga a Premier League title, if there's one thing where he can leave his name in the history books, in the
Yeah,
upper echelons of where some of the Premier League greats can be,
yeah,
it should be this season. And it should be in the assist record. Like, we can give that to
exactly.
him because he's on 18 at the moment and he's got 5 games to get 3 more assists.
Yeah,
So, and shout
yeah.
out, you know what? Shout out Mason Mount, by the way, because he nearly could have got a yellow card, which could have done him dirty during that Chelsea game, and he probably could have missed the game. But yeah, Bruno, like, because I don't, maybe we win the title next year. I don't know, but
What are you
the
talking
fact
about?
that I'm just it's just me being a fan. I don't think that's gonna happen though. But he needs to leave the Premier League with something.
Yeah, yeah. He
He
can
needs
take
to leave
this.
the Premier. Like, he's been a revelation to the Premier League for since he's come in, and he's done it at one of the biggest clubs, or
I
if
wouldn't
not
say.
the
I wouldn't
biggest club
say.
in the
I
Premier
wouldn't
League.
say revelation. I wouldn't say revelation.
A revelation for the neutral
I
of
wouldn't say
goals and assists, bro.
revelation.
For goals and assists, for what
How
he
many times?
does.
Yeah, but okay. He got to like. Has he ever got to 20 Premier League goals? Do you know what I
No,
mean? Has he?
no.
Is he do? Has he? Did he do anything more than what Frank Lampard did goals wise? Like, I don't think so. Like numbers wise,
Oh no, he's
numbers,
never got to
numbers.
20. He's
Yeah, numbers. Like I would say he's been a good dude, and like you always say, he deserves a plaque at New Trafford. But revelation,
okay.
nah.
Yeah, he all right. So let's see. In his first season, 1920, half the season, 8 and 7
Mm,
during half a season. Next
mm,
season, 18 and 12.
mm-hmm.
Next season, 10 and 6. Season after that, 8 and 8. What in the
Bro,
Jason Garrett?
these are regular numbers. These are regular
Yeah, what
numbers.
in the Jason Garrett? Yo, that 8 and 8 threw me off, bro. That 8 and 8 threw me off,
Eight
bro.
and
That
eight,
took me back
bro.
to the old Cowboys, bro.
That gave me PTSD, bro. Eight and eight.
Literally, bro. That gave me like watching Undisputed with Jason Garrett as the Cowboys head coach. He was the 8 and 8, bro. Next year 10 and 8, and this
it's,
year 8 and 10 so far. All
these are
right,
normal. These normal
yeah,
numbers.
no,
Like
all right, cool,
these
fair enough.
normal.
This is his plaque. This is his plaque. You might not
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
new
bro.
plaque,
Yeah,
and he
it's,
deserves it. I can't
but
take that
but
away
but
from him.
but like but through like the biggest team in this country, through your darkest period, he's been a shining light. He's Bobby Robson, isn't it? Like yeah, he done well.
Yeah. He's Bobby Robson, bro, and niggas still love Bobby Robson to this day. And I
Yeah,
think Bruno Fernandes will have those type of fans. Might not
yeah,
be me, but he will have those type of
like
fans
Hodge,
online.
like
Yeah,
Hodge,
yeah,
innit,
yeah,
man?
yeah, yeah, 100%. He's their Bobby Robson, and I hear it,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
yeah,
people tell
yeah,
me Bobby Robson's still one of the greatest niggas to ever do it, and I ain't never seen that nigga play. But the nigga's called Captain Marvel for a reason. But hey ho. Um,
yeah.
quickly, I wanted to quickly ask you about Garnacho before we wrap up. I want to
Hey,
quickly ask you about Garnacho because I
hey,
saw
hey,
I
hey,
I'm
hey.
it's nasty. It's nasty from you guys' perspective, and it's nasty from I don't know how to feel because I'm trying to look at the human element of it now. And the human side of me is like, okay, he's come out recently and apologized for the way he handled things at Man United. I think he's now self-aware. I think the Chelsea fans don't like him. United fans made it known at Stamford Bridge they definitely don't like him. And he's just a player that's very, very low on confidence right now. And then I look back to myself and I think, how did we get here from the player that burst onto the scene in Ten Hag's first season? And when I look back to how we got here, his first season in 22-23, where he was coming off the bench for Marcus Rashford, and he was getting United fans out of their seats. And this was one of our academy lads who won the FA Youth Cup, who scored in the final. We all wanted the best for him. We all said this is going to be our new Ronaldo. Ronaldo gave his idol Ronaldo for an Argentinian to have an idol as Ronaldo getting his first assist. Like he started his career off so well. The spectacular goals he scored, a goal in the FA Cup final. And I think to myself, how did we get here to now both fan bases despise you? I think there's three people. No, I think there's two people to blame. I think Alejandro's to blame. I
Mm-hmm.
think people around his circle is to blame. But I also think Man United are to blame. And the reason I think Man United are to blame is because we did not help him out. he played way too much football the season after. And the reason he played way too much football the season after was because Marcus Rashford did not have his ish together. And I feel
But
like if Marcus Rashford had his ish together and was starting week in, week out for Manchester United, Garnacho would have grown into the role being our sixth man, competing with Rashford, and we would not be having this conversation right now.
okay, all right. Do you know what? I used to be on that side of the argument, and I used to be on like, oh, you need to protect him. You've overplayed him. Like clubs, like bear in mind where you're trying to achieve goals, right? And so it's not like you're playing Garnacho because like you're thinking we need to sort like do what's best for us in this moment, not what's best for the player. This is on him, bro.
Mhm.
Like I've seen Bear,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe
yeah, no,
you, bro,
100,
I've seen Bear.
100%. I think it's on
I've
him.
seen better 18-year-olds come in and just do the job and play well and be first team players from 18 years old. I've seen better of them.
Yeah, but bro, you got to remember, like,
I've seen better of them, bro.
put yourself in his shoe. Like, I feel like I'm trying to defend him when I'm not. I'm trying to look at the human element side of it. Put
Yeah,
yourself in his shoes at the age of 20, 21. You're starting. He started over 40 games for Man United that season, bro. You're
yeah.
20, 21, starting 40 games for Man United. Who's gonna tell you? Who in your circle is gonna tell you what? Like when I
That's
was
your
20,
problem.
21. Yeah,
That's your
yeah, yeah.
problem. That's your
That's your
problem.
problem.
That's your
That's your
problem.
problem 100%. But he's 20, bro. Like, think about when you were burning union comps when you were 20.
Yeah, but bro, if it went the way that it should have gone, like in terms of Kobe Mainu, yeah, and like off the back of of England playing in the final of the Euros, the very next season, like Kobe Mainu would have been playing like 40 games, like 50 games. Do you know what I mean? If it'd gone the way it's supposed to go, because he's your best midfield, like brother, like if you're good enough, you're old enough, and like you've just got to take some accountability. I saw Raheem Sterling playing for when he was 18. I've seen Lamine Yamal play for when he was
Yeah,
16.
so
Like
yeah, yeah.
that's on
I
you.
I
That's on
agree, but
you.
I think the difference is that
He wasn't good enough.
he wasn't good enough then. And he wasn't good enough to start. But we had to start him because we weren't starting Rashford. And Rashford was doing whatever.
That's not Man United's fault. That's his fault. Like he's not,
No, 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 I
bro.
don't think
The,
that's
the,
I don't,
bro, the element, the truth of the matter is, and I got bamboozled by it, and I drank the Kool-Aid for it, bro. The facts of the matter, he ain't good enough, and that's fine.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, and
It's
that's
nobody's
fine, and
fault.
that's
There's
fine.
nobody's fault. Even if you brought him in slower or whatever, if you brought him in slower, he's the kind of person that would have been pissed off if he was on the bench and tried to push for a move. Like he ain't good enough. That's it. He ain't good enough.
I don't necessarily know that. We don't necessarily know that.
We don't know that. We know what happened, and what happened has happened, bro. He was a dickhead at Man United. He's been a dickhead at Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
feel. I don't
No,
feel sorry
I
for him.
listen. I don't feel. I think there's a human side of me that feels sorry for
Yeah,
him, and at
fair.
the same
That's
time I
fair.
don't because I'll be singing "Who's That Twat" from Argentina, but at the same time I'm like, we didn't help him. He shouldn't have played those many games, and it's got to his head and the circle around you, and there's so many things, and at the end of the day, he is to blame, right? And he
Yeah,
knows that, hence why he's come out and he's apologized. But I just think to myself, like, if Man United were in a better position, because I can't compare it to.
no,
But
he's nah.
no, 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 okay, I'm not comparing it to that. But there's some sort of an argument where you think if Man United did their due diligence or player care was better, maybe. I don't
No,
know. I don't know. Maybe
don't,
there's
don't,
enough
don't,
about
don't
that if I'm comparing him to Mason Greenwood now, but
but don't even
maybe.
spare a thought for that nigga. Like, yeah, like it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
even spare a thought for him.
I know.
Don't even
I
spare a
know.
thought for him. Like he made his bed. He's lying in it right now. He's shit. He's shit.
Yeah. All right.
He's
Last but
shit.
not least, quickly, UCL semi-finals, bro. UCL semi-finals. What are you telling me? It's Bayern versus PSG, probably the two best teams in Champions League, and Arsenal Atleti.
Mm,
This is huge for Simeone. The reason
yeah,
it's huge for Simeone because he's been there for more than 10 years, and the nigga goes trophyless a lot, And they
yeah,
just lost the Copa del Rey to Sociedad. And now I know Atletico are not supposed to win trophies, and yes,
yeah.
he's given them two league titles,
That's more
but
than enough.
it's
That's more than enough.
it's more than enough. But you when the finals you get to like the Copa del Rey against Sociedad, they should have won that.
Bro, when have you ever seen
And now they look no, but bro, they're looking at a chance to reach another Champions League final.
Yeah, but you say win the finals you get to, bro. When have you in your lifetime have you ever seen Real Madrid lose a Champions League final against anyone? Have you ever seen Real Madrid get to Champions League final and lose? I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
true. They've only gone against Real Madrid. Yeah.
Bro, they've only the fact that niggas got them two Champions League finals and won two league titles, bro. He's done, and in a bro, he's playing in a league where like there's the three biggest teams in the world, like revenue wise and by all metrics, are Real Madrid, Man United, Barcelona. But massively, they're the three biggest teams in the world, bro. He's in a league where two of those teams are the dominant teams. The league is doing everything in their power to make those teams even stronger, and he's won two league titles. Bro, Klopp won one at Liverpool. Like he's playing with house money, bro. He's playing with house money. Like the
Okay.
reason why they're in an incredible stadium like that is because he's been a manager for the last 10 years and they've been consistently one of the best teams in Europe. They're overachieving, bro. They're overachieving. They're overachieving. They're overachieving. But I get what
I you
I
get
get what
what
you're
I
saying.
mean though. Like you
I
get
get what
what I
you're
mean
saying, but
because do you think they go past Arsenal?
no, I think Arsenal win. I think Arsenal win.
Yeah. And this is probably one of their best chances to win the Champions League.
Who's?
Athletic. If they've got
Nah,
Arsenal in a semi,
they get slapped in the final by
probably,
Brighton.
bro, but
Yeah.
probably they get slapped in the final. But finals are one-offs. You just never know what's going to happen in a final. But they're looking at this semi-final right now. They've got an Arsenal team who are reeling. They should be looking at this. And even though, because this is the thing, I think Arsenal are the favourites for that. I think Atleti should be looking at this thing like Griezmann, show up, bro. Like Mola's the reason they're in the semis. You've beaten Barcelona. You surely should be able to beat Arsenal. But I just feel like Arsenal were the favourites and Simeone could go another season trophyless.
Yeah, but Arsenal should be the favourites, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Arsenal should be favourites. Like, look at the cost of their squad. Look at Arsenal. Like, look at how
Yeah, but Atleti have got a good squad, bro. Like they've
yeah,
got
good,
one of they've
good.
got, I think, the best striker in Europe at the moment.
No,
Julian Alvarez.
he's better than Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane. And no,
Okay.
no, come on,
Harry Kane,
let's
yeah.
not
Okay.
let's not do
Yeah,
that.
okay, top five striker or top three.
Top
And
five, I'll
Mbappe's a
take
left
top
winger,
five.
man. He's just cosplaying as a striker.
But Mbappe, Haaland, and Kane are top three, and then whoever, yeah, pick Alvarez
Yeah,
out
Julian Alvarez. All right, it's cool, top five. Cool. All
top
right,
five.
fine.
But
Fine. So you
but
think Arsenal are going through, right?
I think Arsenal going through, and then I think on the other side, I think Bayern Munich are going through. And
Okay.
I think, bro, like the thing with PSG is that yeah, they've got hoopers, but they haven't got a goalkeeper, bro. The goalkeeper's suspect. He's suspect. Like he's
Mm.
so. And in the Champions
Man, we knew
League,
it was suspect against Madrid.
yeah, I know, but also in the first leg, he was the reason why they won that first leg.
Yeah.
Like in the Champions League, you need to have a good goalkeeper because it's a moments competition, bro. It's so many moments that like it's not necessarily about who wins the. It's about moments. Like can your striker score goals? Can your goalkeeper keep it out? And can you just manage those moments? And I think PSG have got. Oh no, Bayern Munich got the best striker in the world, in my opinion, right now, in Harry Kane. And Manuel Neuer is old and he's 40, but he can still put out performances. I think Bayern Munich win Champions League this year. And for me, again, I ain't got a dog in the race, bro. But I think the story of Harry Kane is nice. I quite like the story of Harry Kane. I like the fact that
Okay.
like Phil Foden, Marcus Rashford, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James. Those are niggas that are like are star boys, right? They come through at the academy. They don't go on loan anywhere. They come through and they play. Harry Kane is not a star boy. Harry Kane went on loan to Leighton Orient and to Leicester and to Norwich
One
and to
season wonder, bro. One
and
season wonder.
Millwall.
You remember
Bro,
that?
one season wonder. 15-16, one season one. Oh, no, 14-15, one season wonder is what they said. Brother, he is a bro, he's a gun man. Like Real Madrid home and away, he
Yeah.
scores. Like they're at with Harry Kane right now. I know that people want to say, "Oh, but his golden boot at the World Cup was stinky." He's got a World Cup golden boot. He's got golden
I got
boots in
World
multiple
Cup coming through.
countries. He's got back to back. But bro, like
Yeah.
if this nigga just wins the Champions League this year and Harry Kane's in Ballon d'Or talks, I think we could just applaud that nigga for saying you might be the greatest British player of all time.
Of all time. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's not like he can't play football. It's not
Bro,
like he can't play football.
he's a
Like
great
he's a
footballer.
good footballer. He can drop deep. He's so good in the box. And you know what's crazy? Do you know what I totally forgot the other day? Do you
Well,
know remember the Watford Leicester game, the Hogdini?
yeah, yeah. Harry Kane's
Harry
on.
Kane
Harry
played
Kane's.
that
Yeah,
game, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For Leicester. Yeah,
Like, look
yeah,
at where he is now. I was gonna say, look at where Troy Dean is.
yeah. Don't do
I
that.
won't say that, man.
Don't
I
do
like
that.
Troy,
Don't do
but
that. I do that.
but um, bro, the fact that he played that game, and now I agree. Like even though he was Tottenham star boy, he went on loan to Leighton Orient, Leicester, Norwich, probably other Nick players as well. And it's crazy that everyone that I know, or people that I know that who has played with him in some sort of capacity, whether it was at Leighton Orient or Norwich or Leicester, all said, yeah, we could see it. So I'm glad that he's become the player he is now. And he's
Bro,
probably the best striker in the world, and not even during the prime of his career. Because would you call this the prime of his career?
not brother,
Like,
no, like no. If Harry Kane would have gone to the Bundesliga, yeah, in his like mid to late 20s, brother, like,
do you know what I mean?
yeah, like yeah, he's bro. This is not the prime of his career. Harry Kane turns 33 in July. Like, this is not the prime of his career. His prime was
That's
like four
still
or five
young, bro.
years.
That's still young. Like, that's not
What
for
world?
for, for a game that doesn't for a game that
Yeah.
doesn't require pace. That's still young. He's still got a good amount of years left in him.
Oh, bro, of course, Harry Kane's gonna play for a long time, but I would love to just like live in the world where, because obviously Pep wanted Harry Kane, live in the world where Harry Kane went to City and see what would have happened. See what would have
Mm.
happened. It would have been
I
a,
think
it
his
would have,
game would have been limited.
yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah, because look at Haaland. Haaland's game's limited now. Haaland barely had a foot in yesterday. He still got the goal, but and
Haaland,
you remember
Haaland,
the Haaland at Dortmund? That was a footballer.
yeah, but the Haaland, even as a footballer, he can't speak to Harry Kane, bro. I saw Haaland, yeah, the City were through on the break. He had to just play a simple pass through and to Semenyo, and it was a terrible pass, bro. The other when you look at something saying, and I was like, oh, so when I'm ranking my strikers in the world, Harry Kane and Mbappe are above Haaland because that was a simple ball. Do you know like how you always point to the Martinelli ball that he should have played against Liverpool? The
Yeah,
simple pass. Yeah, bro. This Haaland one was even more simple than that. Semenyo threw on goal and Haaland can play the pass. I was like, yo,
yeah,
that's
true. It should be
like,
Semenyo putting that past to Haaland, but there you have it.
bro. Like you got Haaland trying to play the pass with his right foot and he can't do it. Yeah. So who have you got in Champions League anyway?
I think I've let you
Yeah.
beat Arsenal. I
Yeah.
think they go through. I don't know how, but I just think they go through.
Yeah.
And something tells me PSG, bro. I don't know what
Fair
it
enough.
is.
Fair enough. Fair
Something
enough.
tells me PSG. I do want Bayern to win, but something just tells me PSG just have it, bro. Like I feel like PSG are just gonna pull something out of the bag, and it's gonna be a PSG Athletic final. That would be a good final.
And what PSG go back to back? Who you picking to win Champions League, Tony? Don't tell me you're picking Athletic to win Champions League.
I'm not picking Athletic to win. I think
Oh,
PSG go back to back. Yeah,
okay.
I
Fair
think
enough.
PSG go back to back.
Fair enough. I thought the hesitation there scared me. I thought you were picking Athletic to
Yeah,
win
no,
Champions
I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh,
League.
but maybe Bayern. Maybe I don't know. Either one of PSG or Bayern win it. One of PSG or Bayern win it. I don't know
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the others.
That's what I think. That's what I think. I have a PSG or
Yeah.
Bayern. If PSG go back to back, bro, we have to start having some serious conversations about this PSG era.
Dembele.
Dembele. We have
Yeah.
to have Kvaratskhelia. We have to start having some serious conversations about Vitinha and João
Mm,
Neves. We have to start having serious conversations about like is Nuno Mendes one of the greatest fullbacks of all time? Is Hakimi one of the greatest fullbacks of all time? Bro, they're just giving Hakimi an Afcon. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
niggas made the World Cup semi final as well. We start talking about this player in different airs if he goes back to back at the Champions League.
Yeah. Back to back Champions League. Yeah. We start having different conversations about these
Different
niggas, man.
conversations about these niggas. It becomes real spooky. Like, where's Luis
Mm.
Enrique all time? Like, that's his third Champions League.
Third Champions League. Did they win the Coupe de France? I'm not even sure if they did
I
the Coupe de
don't
France,
know,
but
but
they
if
could
you
probably
what
win
you
League
say,
one.
you say third treble.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we could have
Yeah,
a scary, scary conversations, bro.
scary conversation.
But yeah, thank you for watching another episode of RNS. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, niggas.